It's not even the best Chris Paul move I've seen.
Correct.
Last week, he nutmegged the defender from the Rockets and made the shot. He didn't even make the shot. By the way, the filthiest move I've seen all year was what Steph Curry did to the Bulls. Catching it, acknowledging the fans, giving a little 1-2 and walking off before the ball went in.
That's right.
And then some. Stephen A., your Knicks took down the Pacers in the Garden, which included this dunk from Obi Toppin. Yes, sir. Is Toppin the most exciting player on the Knicks?
At times, yes. I would say yes, because he's a Skywalker. He definitely's got hops. He's improved his jump shot, by the way. He deserves some more playing time. But more importantly, I'm more impressed with the Knicks' defense in the fourth quarter last night.
The Garden was lit last night. I was
it's lit every night.
Sitting behind the Pacers bench, and those dunks got the crowd going.
KD's going to regret going to Brooklyn.
The Bulls just keep winning. Last night, they blew out the Lakers behind a 38-point DeMar DeRozan performance. JJ, is DeRozan the best player on that stacked Bulls team?
Absolutely. And it's not particularly close. If you look at DeMar right now, he's top 5 in the league in win shares. You could make an argument right now that he is probably 3rd in MVP discussions after Steph and KD.
Absolutely. And you know he went and put on a show in his hometown there in California. All right, guys, this from Woj. There's growing optimism that LeBron James could make his return to the Lakers versus Boston on Friday p.m., so it's telling ESPN. James has been out 2 weeks with an abdominal strain. Lakers start the 5-game road trip in Milwaukee on Wednesday. Stephen A., can LeBron fix this when he returns?
Well, it depends on what your definition of fix is. Can he fix them so they'll be in the playoffs? Sure. Can he fix them so they'll be in the conference finals? Sure. Coming out of the West, ain't happening. The Golden State Warriors are going to the finals. I don't give a damn what anybody says. If they're healthy and Klay Thompson comes back, they're going to the finals. They're going to the finals because they have the greatest shooter God ever created in Steph Curry. They have one of the top 5 shooters of all time coming back in Klay Thompson. Even Draymond Green has improved his three-point shot. He's like 36%. All of a sudden, he started hitting some threes. This kid, Kuminga, have you seen him? I mean, Wiseman's coming back. Have you seen Jordan Poole, Damon Lee, Gary Payton II? I'm sorry. I just can't see anybody out west beating this team. I don't see it. And I want to go so far as to say this. Now, obviously, things could change because you could go out there, if you Pelinka, you could acquire different. You could acquire somebody different. I'm saying that's presently constructed with Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, completely healthy. LeBron completely healthy. Anthony Davis completely healthy. Russell Westbrook completely healthy. Still ain't beat the Warriors. And I believe this is the last championship LeBron James is going to win. Meaning it is over. Ain't no more championship coming. That's what I believe, because you got to go through this team. And I don't think this team is going anywhere. If Klay Thompson comes back healthy, the Warriors will win 2 of the next 3 titles easy. Easy.
Wow, now you're giving him a second. You're giving him a second ring 15 games into the season.
That's what I'm saying.
A whole lot of
yes,
though, man.
Well, no, just health. Just health.
But
the if is health.
Yeah.
The if is health. That's all I'm saying.
But it's
as everything
like
being equal, everybody healthy. That's all I'm saying.
If we figure out our rotation, if Westbrook does what he's been doing second half of the season over the last couple of years, I can use ifs for a lot of things.
No, I'm only talking
if we decide to start shooting like J.J. Redick, if we decide to pick up the phone and call a shooter, it's a lot of ifs.
I'm saying everybody healthy as presently constructed. You ain't beating the Warriors. That's all I'm saying.
I would like to take this opportunity to issue my first mea culpa on this show to Stephen A.
Please.
Last week, I called your Warriors take irresponsible.
Yes.
And I'd like to retract that statement.
To say what?
They are the favorites in the West. I still don't know if they're the favorites to win the NBA championship. There's some teams in the East that I really like, but they are the favorites to win the West.
Let's pause. I need you to repeat that again.
I am sorry.
I need you to repeat it.
My bad. My bad.
Why are they the favorites?
Okay, good.
You know what? This team actually reminds me of the 2015-2016 Warriors teams. They're first in assist percentage. They're first in passes per game. They're last in dribbles per touch per game. This is a ball movement team. It plays to Steph's strengths. They don't even have a Klay Thompson yet, as he said.
Yeah.
And I look at this team with the way these other guys are shooting, Jordan Poole, Damian Lee, Andrew Wiggins is playing good basketball. They are the favorites in the West for sure.
But don't you think?
But I also think there's 4 teams in the East that could legitimately win the championship.
Who are they?
Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Philly when healthy, and Miami.
All of them can win.
Yes.
Beat the Warriors?
Yes.
What?
No, that's a lying face,
What?
JJ. That is not.
Oh.
See, I
That's
think
a
only-
lying
only-
face. He doesn't believe
I would-
it.
I would
Put
say-
JJ on
believe it.
camera.
I believe it.
Put
I'd
him
say
on
Brooklyn.
camera.
They can.
No,
I didn't say they
JJ.
will. I said they
Yes.
can.
Your
There's a
lip
difference.
was curling. You weren't.
You're trying to hold me to something. You're going to hang it over my head later. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing.
I most certainly will. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right.
He's not far off about the Warriors. There's no question about it.
I'm on the money.
Especially when you look at KD's situation, and 3 is always greater than 2, as I said before. And right now, the Lakers, as we know, are a poor shooting team.
Yes.
Clearly.
Yes.
I mean, we need some help as far as that goes. But that dude, 23, what is he, 6 now? Yeah, 6. That dude, 6.
It's
right?
over.
6.
It's over.
See, this
Six.
is where I completely disagree with you.
Yeah, how you going to say it's over for LeBron?
Let's
Underestimating
hear from the basketball
LeBron,
guy. Let's go ahead.
counting out LeBron. You're saying it's out of the realm of possibility.
No, I'm not
that
saying that.
LeBron could win a championship.
I'm not saying that.
Things happen
Okay.
though. You would say this.
That's-
We look at back in 2016.
Right.
They're getting blown out in Game 4. Draymond kicks LeBron in the groin.
Don't get me started with that.
Things can
that
happen.
stimulus package that
Things
Adam
can
Silver in the
happen.
NBA gave LeBron James because he was a guy to get bounced out in 5 games. Remember, they're down 2-1.
Yeah.
Golden State is game 4. They're in Cleveland. I picked them to win the series in 5, by the way. Draymond gets knocked to the floor by LeBron James, got an attitude because he know he's about to get smoked. Drops him to the floor. Draymond kicks his leg up, but because he did it the same thing against Oklahoma City, he gets suspended. The very next game, Andrew Bogut and Iguodala both get hurt, and it ruins the series. That stimulus package that the NBA gave LeBron James in Cleveland is what got them the championship in Cleveland. Neither here nor there, because Kyrie showed up too. But let me tell you something right now, my brother. I'm going to tell you, you can talk about it only with Greek Freak hitting his free throws like he did in Game 6 against Phoenix. That ain't gonna cut the mustard against the Warriors, okay? Right. He played bully ball, and rightfully so. But Phoenix didn't have the shooters these brothers have. It's too many weapons. I'm telling you right now, if LeBron stay in LA with Anthony Davis, healthy, with Russell Westbrook healthy, they ain't beating the Warriors. You can. It's a wrap.
I need to recap this. So last week you said the Warriors are winning the chip. You called it irresponsible.
Yes.
Then
just apologize.
Okay,
just
he apologized. Then you went on to say not only are they going to win it this year, they're going to win probably 2 of 3. You took it a step further. That was a little aggressive, but you did.
I said if Klay Thompson comes back healthy, they win at least 2 of the next 3.
Okay.
Yes.
And you retracted that statement. I just want to make sure we're all on the same
You know why I said? By the way, you know why I said 3? You know why I said 3?
Why?
2 of the next 3? Because Steph wanted to eclipse LeBron. LeBron got 4.
Okay.
Steph would have 5.
But you know it's a trade deadline and everything else, though.
Okay, that's fine. Well, call me when it happens. Right. But as constructed.
As constructed, I agree with that.
Right.
Yeah, but
as constructed.
You know it ain't going to never stay constructed this way, JJ.
No, the way that I would dress, Molly, I appreciate you because Stephen A. came with a suit that he had in the closet already. So I appreciate you coming with the flyness.
Thank you. You know, Dwyane, he's been talking a lot of trash about the wardrobe, and I tried to tell him there's levels that you can pull off that the rest of us just can't, and we need to respect.
Oh, you can sit up there and kiss up all you want to. This brother rose up into a press conference years ago with pink pants on, okay?
It's called couture, and there's facts. Wait, hold on. I got to say one other thing, Wade, and then we want to hear from you. How cute, young Stephen A. I never saw that.
Oh, Lord.
The young, look at how big. Wait, hold on. Dwyane, let's break down this fashion. I don't know if he can see it. But that is an oversized suit, and that is a loud tie, Stephen A. But you are adorable.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this real quick, all right? I mean, this is my brother. I love him dearly. He knows that. One of the best people I've ever met in professional sports. But he did do something that was very unforgivable years ago. I rolled into an event that he was hosting, and it was a fashion event. And I walked in late, and he called out to everybody that I had on MC Hammer pants. I've never forgiven him for that. I've never forgiven him for that.
Oh, gosh. Was he a few years behind in the fashion?
You know, he has so much material, and it was like we can make rugs, we can make blankets, we can make shower curtains out of all this material. Like let's shed a little bit. That's all. That's all I was asking for, brother.
Stephen A., you need a tailor.
Let's go to his memoir. Let's go to his memoir.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. Yeah, Dwyane, let's talk about it. What are we going to learn from this memoir that we didn't already know about you? Because I love that there's over 200 photos we haven't seen.
Yeah, I think that what I've tried to accomplish throughout this memoir is just to really focus on the human side of me. And, playing professional sports and, being in the limelight and quote unquote called a celebrity, sometimes you're not looked at as human. And so what I wanted to do is give a lot of behind the scene moments of things that people might not show as much, a little bit insight on maybe some of my inner thoughts, my insecurities. And so I didn't want this to just be about basketball. I wanted this to be about life, and because I wanted this to be a guide and a visual and an image for little kids, little Dwaynes that are growing up in the inner city of Chicago that need a visual, that needs someone. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make this as human as possible and showcase my life and talk about my journey.
D, I know how important it is to you to reach back to folks and to really give as much as you can, because you've always been that kind of brother. Some would argue, however, that, your popularity obviously was off the charts when you were busy winning championships. And it's like, why didn't you say it then instead of now? How do you answer that question when you're divulging a little bit more of yourself now, as opposed to when you were playing and obviously you were winning championships, and because that was at the height of your popularity, one would argue?
Yeah, I mean, one of it is growth, Stephen A. It's just, we're coming to the NBA. I came in as a 21-year-old, and then I get microphones put in front of my face every day, and I'm asked about so many different things. Most of it pertaining to my basketball talents. And so now, in my life now, my life is not, microphones is not talking about basketball. We're talking about my children. We're talking about my community. We're talking about other things. And so now, as I've grown and I've gotten older and I've become more curious and I want to learn more, and I want to become a better person. And my life is not just focused on being the best basketball player I can be. It's finding myself. It's finding Dwyane. It's trying to learn how to become in this world that we live in. And it's not easy. Even with success from a sport, coming out here in this real world, Stephen A, it's not easy to navigate through. And so for me, I'm finding my voice. I'm finding myself, and I'm letting life determine what it is that I speak about, or what it is that I become passionate about through life experiences.
D-Wade, what have you found out about yourself now that you didn't know 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago?
I don't know if I'm finding out something about myself that I didn't know. I think I'm taking what I've learned through sport, and I'm just applying it. I know how to apply, what I need to in this life. And it's like, if I become successful in something that is a small percentage of the world have the opportunity to ever experience and ever be a part of, and I become one of the greatest at that, then I can take those same principles of, how to work as a team, how to sacrifice, how to play a role, how to lead, how to follow. I can take all these things into this life and try to apply those and try to, still be as successful as I was as a basketball player, because I know what it takes to win. I've done it at the highest level that's possible.
Dwyane, I think that's beautiful, because obviously sports is a microcosm of life, but I think to have the humility, the awareness, and to be introspective, to not only want to become the best version of yourself in all areas, but to become a better human being, truly is a really beautiful sentiment. I appreciate you sharing that and your vulnerability through this book as well. But, sir, we need to talk some hoops. You have obvious connections to both Miami and Chicago. Please tell me, which team is the bigger threat in the East, the Heat or the Bulls?
Well, you got to say the Heat right now. And, obviously the Chicago Bulls, let's give DeMar DeRozan, let's give Zobal, let's give, those guys all the credit they deserve. Zach LaVine, I've been screaming his names. Everybody, I've been screaming his name.
Yes.
Let's give that all-star some credit for what they're building. But I think Miami is more seasoned from the sense of, some of the core guys have been together. That culture, you just fit right into that culture. They went out and got the right pieces to fit right into that culture. So they're going to be tough. They're going to be a tough out.
I've been on the record because, I know, obviously your former teammate, Lebron James, the 4-time champion that he is, 4-time league MVP. There have been expectations thrown in the Los Angeles Lakers' way. They're struggling right now at 8-7. We'll see what they do moving forward. But I've been focused on the Golden State Warriors. These brothers are special, D-Wade. Could you speak to how special they truly, truly are? Because shot makers rule the day in basketball, and those brothers have a few.
You know what? It's beautiful watching them play basketball. as a fan of the game, to watch Golden State, the way they share the wealth, the way they share the basketball, I've gotten a better appreciation for Draymond Green since I've retired and really watched this guy. I mean, he's a point guard. Like, he is one of the best playmakers in the game. But Steph Curry, he proved it last year. He proven again this year. He is one of the greatest to ever play this game. He's on that Mount Rushmore from the standpoint of changing the face of the game. But to see young guys like Poole, to see GP, to see GP the second get his opportunity, those things right there. That's what sport is about. And Steve Kerr is doing an amazing job of allowing those guys to play free, and the excitement that they bring, man. It's just, I mean, it's just a place you want to be. It's just basketball that you want to watch.
I'm going to go someplace else with you with this next question I'm going to ask, because you guys, LeBron, Chris Bosh wasn't the first big three. Really, it was KG. It was Ray Allen. It was Paul Pierce in Boston with Rondo before y'all assembled in Miami, and we get all of that. We've seen what followed with KD going to Golden State. We see now what Kyrie going
Wait
to
a minute.
Yes, what?
Jordan, Dennis Rodman, and Scottie Pippen wasn't a big three?
No,
I'm
not.
Keep going.
Excuse me, I'm not saying that they weren't big threes. I'm talking about, Rodman was acquired, but I'm saying Scottie Pippen and Jordan came up together. I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it. Here's where I'm going. As you see Milwaukee win the championship, you see Brooklyn with some of their struggles for reasons we don't need to get into right now. You see the Lakers having a little bit of trouble. As you reflect on the effect that some would say y'all big three in Miami had on the game of basketball, what is it about that big three that was in Miami that you feel all of us have been missing throughout the years when we talk about the big three being assembled in Miami? Take it from there.
Well, I mean, that team was assembled, and I think why that big three stands out is because of the player empowerment of it all, right? That was decided by three guys, three players. It wasn't decided by teams. It wasn't a trade. Eventually it became trades to make it all work, but it wasn't decided through organization. And so I think that's why our big three was such an important part of the game of basketball. It's an important story in the game of basketball. And so what I loved about it is I thought we did a great job playing GM with each other and making sure we put the right chemistry of guys with CB and Bron and myself, of our personalities in our game. I thought we did a great job of putting the right chemistry together. And so, that's the biggest thing you look at. You just look at the chemistry, and it takes a while sometimes. It's taking, it's taking the Lakers a while. I remember they're 8-7. I remember we were 9-8. And I'm not saying they're us, but I'm saying, like, it takes time sometimes to figure it all out. And I thought for us, we just really wanted to, Stephen. And, like, it was no other choice for us. Like, it wasn't okay, if I got to take less shots, that's what I have to do. If my points got to go down, that's what it has to do. Because ultimately it's about one thing, and it was about that championship.
Yeah, and you got it done, the want and the will. Dwyane, I'm starting to take this personally because everyone brings up LeBron's age, and him and I are the same age, and I feel like I'm just getting started. But with that being said, how likely is this current Lakers squad to reach the finals this year?
I don't know. I don't think none of us knows. I think one thing we do know is that they have the talent and they have the veteran, the veteran play that they need if they get in a 7-game series. We do know that, but we also know how health plays an important part in the game of basketball, especially as the older players. So we know that they have talent. We know that they have Hall of Famers, but we don't know if they're going to be able to be there at the end together. We don't know if because of injuries throughout the year, when you have an older team, you don't be able to build that chemistry, that camaraderie, that everything that you need to be able to win a Game 7 on the road. So it's all going to be determined on health, and it's all going to be determined on LeBron James being on that court.
Well, let's not forget you believe in your Utah Jazz as well, because that brother Donovan Mitchell is a star. So I'm not going to forget about him. I don't know about the rest of the dudes with him. I got to see. But I believe in that brother. Let me say this to you. Let me say this to you, D. Wade. I mean, as I think about we talked about LeBron, Jordan, Mount Rushmore, whatever. I want to switch it up. I want to ask you about you. We talk about Jordan as an off guard. We talk about Kobe as an off guard. Well, damn it, you got 3 rings. You going into the Hall of Fame, first ballot without question. That's right, Gabby. I said it, so she ain't got to call me getting on me about that. Yeah, you going to the Hall of Fame, no question, first ballot. Where do you rank yourself as one of the all-time off guards in the history of basketball?
You can't do that to me. You can't do that to me, Stephen. I'm not going to answer that question. That's not for me. That is not for me to answer. Listen, I lay my body of work out. I lay my body of work out, and I'll let the people who get paid a lot of money to discuss it.
Okay. All right.
Like you.
All right. I
All
appreciate
right,
it.
let's transition. Speaking about your body of work, so fashion and the NBA, Dwyane, obviously synonymous. And Stephen A. likes to play fashion police on the show. And it's no secret that you and your wife, Gabby, can both dress. So I'm told we have...
Gabby